No matter your age, your plan for retirement can start today. From the News Channel 5 Network, this is the Retirement Report.
Good morning. Welcome to the Retirement Report. I'm Hank Parrott, your host. We're going to be talking today about estate planning, and one of those areas that we get into when it comes to estate planning, it encompasses a lot of different things. It encompasses tax planning as well. It would talk about things that, we don't have the same issues we've had, say, in past years with regard to inheritance taxes or estate taxes. You don't see that as much because now we've got a large exemption. There's no inheritance tax any longer in Tennessee. That's been done away with. The estate tax has, I think it's about an $11 million estate tax exemption that before you would have to pay tax. But so some of the planning that we would do in the past has, we don't do quite as much. We're not as concerned about preserving the estate tax exemption, as an example. But there are some other areas that this gets into, like gift taxes or gifting to your beneficiaries or to your children or family members or whoever it might be. And there's some confusion about this, about the gift tax exemption and what that means. So we're going to talk about that this morning and how you can use these strategies in your estate planning. And this is another area, the estate tax exemption. This is one thing to consider. With the estate tax exemption, you don't, it's being higher now doesn't mean it's going to stay higher. These things can change, and if it did get reduced, and there are those in Washington that would like to see that, if it did get reduced down, one strategy might be to use some of that now in the form of gifting. So we're going to talk about a bunch of things here that regarding estate planning, and we're going to talk also about annuities in estate planning and annuities in utilizing in trust, and how this can work, and with IRAs and retirement accounts, how that can play in as well. So we're going to get into some advanced strategies with regard to how you can utilize these vehicles to your best advantage, and understanding what they are. So we're going to talk also, what is an annuity? What is a trust? How many, and there are a variety of different types of annuities, and of course even more variety of different kinds of trusts. So we'll get into that a little bit. And here to help me with that today is my good friend and special guest, Russ Cook of Russ Cook & Associates over in Brentwood, Tennessee. Russ is a board-certified estate planning attorney. And this is one of the areas, I've been working with Russ now for, 12 plus years, I believe it is now, and quite a while, right?
Yeah, sure has been.
And this is one of the areas in working with Russ for so long. We've had clients that have, that we've worked together with that have passed on, and we've worked in with the families in with their estate planning documents, and sometimes this has meant with trusts that continue on past their death that they had set up for the purpose of taking care of their children, as an example. So we get into seeing what happens on the other side of that estate planning when we're actually having to do the things that the estate planning was set up for, and that's been one of the other parts of having the confidence of knowing Russ does excellent documents, and when each time when we've then had that event, had that time when we've had to test those documents, if you will, in administering those estates, how well in fact they've done for the families. And this is one of the areas too, Russ, I know for me, and I'm sure for you quite often, it's neat that when the children see, oh wow, look what mom and dad did, and this has really been such a benefit to us, now we want to do the same thing for our children. So we see these generation after generation become clients as a result of that good planning.
Yeah, and it's exciting too, because you get a chance to work with the family as a whole after the fact and making sure that everything is taken care of, because obviously when we meet with clients, they're not really setting up an estate plan for themselves, they're setting up an estate plan for their family, for the people that they're leaving behind. And you might get some folks that say, oh well, they'll just deal with it when I die. The problem is that's when the situation gets really complicated, and it's better to have documents in place that basically anticipate some of the issues that might come up, and also to make sure that your desires are carried out, because if you don't have a plan in place, there is a plan. It's called the Tennessee plan, yes. And for most folks, that's not the best plan for them.
That's exactly right. We don't, make your own plan. Don't let the state take over, and again, it's understanding how these rules work and what that might look like. All right, we've got a caller, so we'll go ahead and Renee, welcome to the Retirement Report. Renee, are you there? We have a new phone system, so I'm being trained here. Let's see if I did it right. All right, now I think, does that work? Marilena, I think we have a technical difficulty here.
That's the guy hitting the buttons.
All right, we'll try it. I know, right? It's not working. Okay, off we go. All right, one of the things that comes in, and as Russ was just saying, you can. Oh, there we go. Hi, Renee. How you doing?
Great. How are you doing this morning?
Very good, thank you. We've got a new phone system, so I have to be retrained here.
No problem.
Well, welcome.
No
How
problem
can we help this morning?
Well, the piece of advice that I would like to hear is, what advice do you have for a single professional person who does not have a family? I am in the process of setting up the living will and trust and all that good stuff, but who is the person that we can go to really handle your estate when you don't have that good, reliable support in your life?
Yeah, excellent question. So you're setting these up now, or looking to get these set up? Is that what I'm saying?
Yes, I am. And also I've set up a nonprofit, and I'm thinking that when I pass away, I just experienced my mother passing away, and my mother did not have things together. She didn't even have a will in place.
Right.
And I come to find out that there are people who wait for people to pass away without a will, and they go in behind the family's back and take over the estate.
Now that would be an interesting one. I wonder how that would happen.
Well, if the family doesn't know that the person has an estate, I mean, some of these situations, the family doesn't even know the person that's died. It does happen in situations where, let's say there's a house, someone dies, no one knows, no one's related to that person that's there and understands what's going on, and then the house ends up in foreclosure because no one's paying the taxes on it or something like that. Money goes into the unclaimed property thing, and it's rare, but it does happen.
So if someone can get in, yeah, I can. So this area, then all the more reason to have this planning done. So Renee, are you asking then, as far as, do you have a friend, a good friend, or other family member to help you with? So who is going to then act for you if you became incapacitated, as an example, right?
That's the advice that I'm saying. Where is there a company, a go-to company that specializes in overseeing, like assisted nursing homes, that just help with the estate? And then just to make you aware, I'm sorry to say, but there are people who wait for people to pass away, and they go in and act as if they are that distant cousin, and they take over the person's estate before the person is even buried. They go through the process of appointing themselves the executor of the estate, and the court is automatically assigning these people to be the executor of the people's estate before the person is even buried. So, sorry to say, but it is happening.
So, Russ, if we can talk about trust companies. That can be, so for Renee's purposes, someone that she can, or a company that she could use as a both beneficiary, and then how that would work for the power of attorney. Would it be, in fact, seeking out a professional, an attorney, or I've had trustees that even it could be a tax person, even, or it's a trusted family advisor, or that you might have. That's one option. And there are trust companies that are and people that are bonded to help in those situations. So I'll let you talk about that.
Well, a lot of the banks around here, and I'm not trying to pitch any one, they have trust departments. There are private trust companies that all they do is handle trust administration. They all can be found online. There are nonprofit companies that would also act as trustee in those situations, especially if the person is going into a nursing home or assisted living facility. Without pitching anyone in particular, I think if you were to go online, you would find information on all of these sort of entities that are involved in this sort of thing. And some of the banks, as trust departments, will act on the power of attorney, some won't. So I would just check with your bank and see if they have a trust department, and if so, then ask if they're okay being named as trustee of any trusts under your, or executor or trustee on your revocable trust, and also on your power of attorney. Now, in the healthcare power of attorney, that's a little bit different sensitive situation. If you don't have anybody to make healthcare decisions for you, then you may have to go the nonprofit route and see if there's maybe an organization that can kind of step in and do that for you. And I know there are some, and again, you'll have to do a little research, and you can probably get to a company that will do that for you.
So Renee, one of the things there, what you can do if you'd like to get some more information, if you contact my office, 615-376-5325, and we'll get that up through the show. But if you contact my office, if you're looking to get some more guidance in terms of specific companies, we can look up some that we've done business with, their contact information, and I can get that to you.
Great. Okay? Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Take care. Bye. All right. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to dive into, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about annuities and utilizing annuities in trusts and how that can be a benefit to you in many, many situations, both from a tax standpoint as well as an asset protection standpoint. So join us here. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here on the Retirement.